Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk. Here we are with something a little bit different. This is the memorably named Panasonic PRX-120. It's actually an Android home phone rather than a mobile phone. So it plugs into a landline. So we're going to have a quick look. So the main handset is immediately on top. We're going to come back to that in just a second. Also in the box, we have some cables. So first of all, we have a RJ11 cable to a proprietary sort of feature style cable. Come back to that in a second. We then have, oh, it's really well packed in. We have a base unit there, which the handset drops into for charging. So we'll come back to that in a moment as well. Then here, what else do we have? We have a power supply, which has an RJ11 style socket on the other end. And then we have another power supply, which has a bullet style connector. And what else do we have? We have the main unit, sort of the base station if you like. So that's where we plug in the phone line and the power supply into both of those there. And the user manual, which is right at the bottom, all wrapped up. So put all that to one side for a moment and bring in the handset, because it's kind of sort of like the business end of things. So the idea here is that we plug this unit into our home landline with the supplied cables and the power supply. Then we have a remote or secondary charging station that we can obviously drop our phones into for obviously charging up. And then we have the handset. So this is an Android powered home phone system, which I suppose is logical. It kind of follows that why should Android and touchscreen devices be just for mobile phones. So we have a 3.5-inch display, which is a half VGA. It also has a forward-facing camera. It's running Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich, which isn't bad. We have a loudspeaker on the front, and then the microphone at the bottom, and also the little charging sort of station connector at the bottom. To the left-hand side, with an up and down volume control, and also a little connector there, which obviously you'll recognise to be the micro USB. So you can charge it with micro USB as well as using the docking station. Nothing to see up on the right-hand side, and on the top we do have a 3.5mm headphone connector, so you can plug in a wired headset, which is kind of a nice idea. And then the power button as well. And then the back cover just pops off, and we have a battery, which is a 1450 milliamp hour battery, and a space for a micro SD memory card. I'm not sure what the support is on that in terms of the capacity, whether or not that takes up to 64. It's not listed in the specification that Panasonic have given me, but nevertheless we do have that there as well. So let me just quickly power up. The rest of the specification, well, it's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in as well. The base unit itself here has an answer phone built in, so it records up to 40 minutes on the answer phone. Nice thing about having the home phone like this is, because it has Android and obviously it's touchscreen, we can combine a landline experience with also Skype, so you can have both within one package, which is a nice idea. That forward-facing camera is a 0.3 megapixel, so it's just VGA basically, but it's useful for using Skype and that sort of stuff. So it does give us those features. We do have the Play Store. We can make landline calls. So we're not connected at the moment. We can use an intercom. There's another feature also that's called a key finder. So basically what we do is we get a key, a fob for our car keys or whatever, and it allows us to actually page and find our keys. You've got your landline settings that you can go in and set up as well. It's all done through the handset and not through the base unit, because obviously there's nothing really on the base unit as such. capacitive buttons on the bottom as well. And really, sort of design-wise, the phone looks a bit like something we would have had from Samsung in terms of you know, a mobile phone, an Android mobile smartphone about a couple of years ago. Certainly with this large button on the bottom, it's very reminiscent of a Samsung smartphone. In terms of other stuff on here, it really is just a sort of a fairly straightforward Android experience. We've got a web browser, we've got Chrome there as well, we can download, we've got File Manager, Google+, Google Maps. There is also built-in GPS, believe it or not, in the handset, although I'm not sure quite how useful it's going to be for a home phone, but you know, nevertheless it is there and supported. We've got Google navigation, and you know, realistically, in terms of everything else that's on here, to all intents and purposes, it is just an Android phone that happens to be able to tether to, or not tether, but connect wirelessly to a landline phone line. So that's pretty impressive. A little bit more, you know, unusual. I'm not sure that there are any other handsets like this on the market. We will just pop into the settings and quickly look at, well, let's take a look at storage. Tells us what we've got on here. So we've got a small amount of internal storage. What looks like basically, oh, there we go. Total space of internal storage is 2 gig. So there's a bit there to play with, and obviously we do have a memory card should that become necessary. Not sure that it would be really. We've got our location services that we can turn on and off, accounts and sync. And if we could pop into the about, we can see that it's 4.0.4. The model numbers there, as you can see. Other bits and pieces of information. And we obviously can go into Wi-Fi, and we can turn the Wi-Fi on. I'm really not going to bother to do that. You've seen Android devices with, you know, half VGA displays countless times before, so and there's nothing too unusual about this one really versus other ones that you've seen. The home screen is basically exactly the same as a pretty straightforward Android experience. You've got Google search and voice search. In terms of the camera, I'm not sure if we can just go ahead and use the camera as a camera. Let's take a look. Oh, it would appear that we can, albeit obviously that we just have the 0.3 megapixel camera there. So there we go, that is the, let's bring the other base unit as well, so we can see it, and obviously the charging station, and then we've got the power cables there. So really that is a quick look at the Panasonic home phone system. We will have a review for you at some point over the next couple of weeks, and I'll get it set up at home and we'll just try it out. If you want to ask us any questions, feel free to do so on twitter.com/TracyMatt, that's TracyAndMatt, or facebook.com/TracyMatt.co.uk. And I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on TracyAndMatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.